Hi guys, and welcome back once again to the South Korean ladder, as I found a very interesting game here for you, a very long game as you can see from the timer once again. And it is once again an international game in between Russia and South Korea, or I believe it is South Korea. So we have spawning here in the upper right in the orange. It is DEWALT with his AK, with his barcode, and the one behind, and his opponent here in the upper right in the red. It is 3050 ONLYYOU. Sadly, I don't know who this player is. I believe he is from Korea, given the fact that this has been played on the South Korean ladder. So yeah, it should be of course a very good game for spawning location map. It is very high APM at the beginning here for DEWALT. I believe he had around 600, so it seems like he's taking this game very serious. He really wants to show his skill and very likely wants to go to the top of the South Korean ladder, perhaps even qualify for the ASL if it is possible here for him. Now we're going to be checking out the build orders just like we do in the previous replays. Nothing out of the ordinary yet. We do have the supply depot here for the Terran. The pylon is up for the Protoss. So it looks like we're heading towards a very normal game and a very nice macro game it should be, of course, given the fact that we have a 30-minute action game in between the two pros. There's the barracks. Should be followed up very soon by the gas. And I believe the same can be said here for DEWALT, who is also very likely going for his gas. We're going to be seeing who will be the first to scout out the map. It looks like the Terran, or it's just the SCV building the barracks, and yeah, there is the gas. So yeah, should be a very good game. Are we going to be seeing once again the Terran go towards the factory build orders with the mech, with the tanks, with the Goliaths and so on, the vultures? Or is it going to be something different with carriers versus battle cruisers? It would be very interesting to see once again some carriers. And yeah, the first one scouting is actually here, ONLYYOU. I guess I'm just going to call him the Terran, the red Terran here, versus DEWALT. There's the scout for DEWALT, sees the timing from the SCV, so he might suspect that it's either the lower left or the upper right. As yeah, in comes the SCV, sees the cybernetic score. Gas is getting mined. Let's have a look at the Terran. Perhaps only mining with one SCV. This is sufficient for the Terrans to mine with only one SCV. I also saw Flash do this in previous replays here onto this channel. So one SCV seems to be enough for the Terrans, as there's the factory for him. And one Marine is out here to fend off the scouting from DEWALT. So a small advantage here for the Terran. I believe DEWALT has now no idea what exactly is happening into the main from the opponent, but he's now going for a Dragoon, and I believe the range will also be starting very soon. That's exactly why the Terran leaves the SCV here, just to see when or if the range is starting for the Protoss. Now DEWALT might go for his expansion here as well. SCV already building here the expansion for the Terran, as the add-on has also started here for the factory. So yeah, calm early game. Dragoon is out. SCV is of course going to try to buy as much time as he can here for him. And yeah, no second gateway hit yet here for DEWALT. Going for the expansion, of course the Terran might suspect this. This is exactly why he's trying to scout. He's in a great block here with this one pylon for DEWALT. A nice kill by him, but the SCV is moving forward. Unless the Dragoon is faster to snipe him. Now he sees the expansion, so with that the SCV can return home. He has gathered important information. I believe the Dragoon is a little bit faster than the SCV, so DEWALT should be able to snipe this unless he's missing on the high ground. But no, he did snipe the SCV, as it looks like the Terran even scouting here the map for some hidden proxies from DEWALT. Either that, or he might even try to build a starboard into this location, or perhaps he's going to try to cheese with some tactics here. Yeah, tank is out, so things look very good for the Protoss, sorry, for the Terran, as we do have the robotics facility bay here at home for DEWALT and another gateway. So SCV is still roaming around. DEWALT decides to play defensively, not deciding to go towards the base from the Terran, at least not yet. Perhaps he's just waiting for the range to be upgraded. And there's the siege tank ability once getting finished here for the Terran. So yeah, we will pass the 5-minute mark soon. A very nice calculated game here by both players. Worker wise, pretty much the same amount for both of them. as now DEWALT seems to be transitioning into mass gateway units, just like all Protoss do. Let's see if the Terran is also going into mass factories. We're about to find out very soon. There's the armory, very important building for the Terrans, as we saw Flash going into double armory always, even against the Zergs and the Protoss. He really likes his upgrades for the tanks and for the vultures. And that's interesting. I believe siege tank ability, I did saw it here on the upper right. Perhaps the Terran did misclick or miscancelled. Quite interesting. Perhaps he just cancelled it in order to build an armory. It could be a possibility. So feeling very confident with the bunker in the front, not deciding to go for that siege ability yet, or it was just a misclick by him. I'm very sure that I saw this symbol in the upper right for the Terran. There is the weapons 1 upgrade. Observer is also out here for the Protoss. And yeah, very defensive gameplay here by DEWALT indeed. Perhaps expecting an harassment by his opponent. Yeah, siege tank ability is about to get finished. The observer, one observer is out, second one is getting produced. Some Goliaths are getting produced here by the Terran, just in case it's going to be a shuttle gameplay by the Protoss. But yeah, very nice early game. He's of course going to try to detect any mines, but interesting enough here for the Terran, he decides to not go for any vultures, at least not yet. He's going for Goliaths, so very defensive gameplay here for the Terran, turtling up here into his main, perhaps waiting to reach the crucial number of tanks with vultures and Goliaths and only then push out, and also perhaps waiting for those upgrades to kick in for him, as he has even a starport getting built now. So yeah, DEWALT moving forward with his observer, sees the tank. Of course, no chance for him to move here forward against those two tanks in the back. In the meantime, he decides to also play it safe, expanding. I believe this is like the way things will go into this game. DEWALT is going to try to control the middle of the map, not allowing the Terran, or at least trying to delay the next expansions from the Terran. And in the meantime, he's just pretty much going to expand all over the map, and then just very likely pump out units from the gateway as much as he can. So yeah, let's see how things will unfold. We even have some turrets, so the Terran really expecting a shuttle gameplay by the opponent. But no such thing from DEWALT, a very nice calculated game for him. Those players nicely scouting the map, looking for any expansions, any hidden expansions from the opponent. But yeah, no such thing yet for them. And yeah, let's see how the game is going to continue here. The robotic support bay is up. There's the shuttle, there's the reverse, so we might see our first drop happening. But where exactly can he attack? There is a Goliath here, some turret here. The siege tank is sieged up, so it's going to be very, very hard. Flash likes to go for 2 Goliaths, and there they are. And I believe into this location there should also be 2 Goliaths for him. Another armory, also 2 armories, just like Flash has shown us in previous replays. So very good build order here by the Terran. Let's see what the harassment can do here for DEWALT. No speed yet for the shuttle, so perhaps a little bit of a mistake here by DEWALT, not going for his speed now for the shuttle. Let's see what he can do with his one shuttle drop. Only one shuttle. 2 Goliaths are in position. The turret is in the back. Let's see what DEWALT can do here. Interesting enough, he has no observer, just moves here forward blindly. Is he going to be able to deal some damage? The Terran sees this, of course, even deciding to place a turret here. At the same time, we do see another drop happening here. So nice sneaky move by the Terran, catching me off guard, even catching DEWALT off guard. Now some nice mines have been placed. And I believe lots and lots of drones have been pulled back here by DEWALT. Of course, there it is. So very nice sneaky move by the Terran. Perhaps we should go a little bit back to see if any probes have been killed. So I really didn't see what exactly happened there. A very nice move by the Terran. How exactly did he made it forward with his vultures there? Oh, there it is. So yeah, there it is. A very nice move here by the Terran. Let's see how many kills he can get. So 58 for DEWALT. He's dropping out the vultures here. Very nice move. Snapping 1, 2, even 3. A very, very great move here by the Terran, which I completely missed as I was careful with the drop by default here. So even six probes have been snapped. A very nice move by the Terran, crippling the economy a little bit here from default. So nicely done by him. Of course, this is going to be cleared by default, but yeah, great early harassment by the opponent. And no action yet here for default with his one shuttle. I believe he even brought it back at home. It was pretty much impossible here to attack. Let's see where exactly this shuttle can be. It's just observers here for default, so please tell me that he didn't lose. Yeah, there it is. And even another dropship here. So the Terran very aggressively, nice harassment here by him. I believe he's going to try to very likely drop once again into this location, but we do have a cannon here for default, so it's going to be even harder here for the Terran to move forward. He's nicely placing those mines. Let's see how much damage he can do this time. 2 dragoons in the back guarding and 1 cannon. Is he going to decide to move here forward, or just going to try to buy some time here versus the opponent? So yeah, very nice early game. Now we can see how both players decide to pretty much upgrade everything they can towards their units. Oh, the shuttle might get snapped here, so quite a mistake by the Terran, losing those 3 vultures with a dropship. A good move by default, lucky move by him. The Terran didn't pay attention, just moved here out onto the map, and now some mines will get some connections here for him as well, as default is now going for his 3rd expansion. So with that, I believe the Terran is also very likely going to try to place his expansion somewhere on the map. Yeah, there it is. Very likely into this location. Perhaps this one would have been better, a little bit far away by the Protoss. And yeah, let's just see how things will unfold. A very nice back and forward game we have here, with some mistakes of course, as default is now going to try to get some lucky shots with his Reaver. Very good micro here by him, dealing in massive amounts of splash damage towards the opponent, but the Terran looks like he's going to secure this expansion in the end. And yeah, having quite a good game here. Let's just check the upgrades once again. 0-0 for him. I believe the Terran should have 1-1 already here for him. So upgrade wise, Terran looking much stronger than the opponent, than default. Let's see if default is going to commit here forward. He has 3 shuttles, no psionic storm, no high temperers. Is he going to move here forward? It's going to be quite hard. There's also many tanks in the back. There's also many mines in the front. Let's see, he's going to drop straight towards the mines in the back. So very great move here by him. Zealots are engaging here now. Even the Reaver takes splash damage, so the Reaver has been snapped. Tanks doing their best here. Lots and lots of damage. Default still holding. His Zealots are still alive. That's really important for him. So very nice move, but there's still units here on the high ground. So perhaps default wasn't calculating with that the Terran had some units up here. He's just regrouping in the middle of the map. A little bit of a mistake here by the Terran, moving forward with his SCVs. Now defensive matrix into this one tank, and default will just try to snipe as many SCVs as he can here. So we have a very chaotic scene. We see once again the Terran moving out, but I believe the harassment pretty much is over, or is it, as he's once again dropping those units straight towards the tanks here, dealing some good amounts of damage. Nicely done here by default, showing us how good those shuttles can be. And now he's moving forward with his dragoons. So very smart move by him, dealing damage left and right, and now just moving back home, repicking his units. Very smart move by him. Very good abusement gameplay here, causing some chaos towards the main from the Terran, even sniping more and more SCVs. And reinforcement should arrive soon with the shuttle. Either that, or he's going to abandon those units here, just causing lots and lots of economic damage, sniping the SCVs, delaying a mining time. A very good move here by default. And yeah, even sniping more SCVs that they're not really paying attention. Now he's finally moving forward with his tanks, and also he's going to try to deal some damage on. What a lucky engagement here by the Terran, moving forward with his speeding vultures, sniping 5 probes, and even now going for the high templars, but default microing them into the shuttle. Very fast game now all of a sudden indeed, with great harassment by default, and also lucky sniping here for the Terran. But in the end, default has this expansion up and running. It's well defended with cannons. The Terran at a 3 base versus a 4 base now, as we soon will reach the half point of this match. So yeah, still anyone's game of course, Perhaps upgrade wise the Terran has the advantage versus the opponent. Let's check the upgrades from DEWALT. It's only one weapons upgrade, but he does have 2 forges, so very soon he's very likely going to be going into his armory or shield upgrades. Yeah, let's see how the game will unfold. All of a sudden a great drop here happening, even catching me off guard. So DEWALT somehow making it here forward with so many shuttles. Quite a disastrous defense here for the Terran, as there were only 3 turrets up here, and with that DEWALT having all of a sudden a great advantage here into this game. So what a bold move here by him, and this Weaver is still alive now and even dealing more and more damage. And the High Templars, of course, with that splash damage, dealing so much damage. 5 kills for this one. There were some others as well, so DEWALT crippling now the economy from the opponent. So much mining time has been lost. 52 workers only remaining. Of course, the rest will be cleared here by the Terran. But yeah, what a great move it was here by DEWALT. Sorry. Only 3 turrets here for the Terran. No Goliaths. At least now there's 1 Goliath here. And yeah, DEWALT pretty much taking the advantage, the initiative now. Knowing that he is ahead, he's trying to move forward. What a nice tactic by him with those shuttles, showing us how strong the shuttles can be into the middle of the game with the High Templars. I believe the Zealots have been dropped, of course, first to soak up the tank damage, and then looks like he's not done. He's just moving forward with another shuttle, perhaps just faking a drop in order to intercept the units from the Terran. So all of a sudden the Terran turtling up here. He's sending out a couple of vultures, but there's also many cannons in the back. I don't think he's going to have the opportunity here to move forward, as even more cannons are getting placed here by DEWALT. So DEWALT pretty much in control of this game right now, has the control of the middle of the map, and even deciding to expand here into this location and placing some gateways here. So very nice move. The Terran will very likely also try to take his lower right part of the map, and yeah, let's just see how the game will unfold. Lots and lots of gateways here indeed for DEWALT. The only bad thing here for DEWALT are his upgrades. 2 weapons upgrades against the 2-2, but hold on, once again a drop is happening here. This time not that much successful, actually very successfully. Sorry about this one. So once again I did miss it. I am going to be going back, so sorry about this one, guys. Let's go back a little bit into the replay. Let's just see what exactly has happened there. 33 workers have been left for the Protoss, as I was busy looking somewhere else at the expansion. Yeah, those shuttles are really fast. There are 2 of them. And let's see what exactly DEWALT has prepared here. So first he's uploading his Zealots, then some High Templar Storms. Just interesting to see that only 3 shuttles can deal so much amount of damage. Even a Dark Templar has joined the army here. So we have Zealots, and then High Templars with Dark Templars. Let's just see what he can do. Moving here forward, once again only 1 turret to defend, 2 turrets actually here for the Terran. He has so many tanks in the back, but there's the real damage dealers. The High Templars just pretty much obliterating all of the SCV line here. So what a great move once again here by DEWALT. Pretty much suicide mission for him, but it was all worthy as the Terran has dropped to 32 workers. So now DEWALT has the double amount of workers versus the opponent. What a great move here by him. Sacrificing, of course, the shuttles, the Zealots, and 3 High Templars with a Dark Templar, also interesting enough. Only 2 turrets, perhaps more turrets should be placed into this location where exactly the shuttles do come from. So now the Terran pretty much has to rebuild all of his economy, all of his SCVs. The DEWALT just pretty much having now the control of the map, bringing more probes forward towards the other expansion. And it looks like a very great game here for DEWALT. I believe he right now has the advantage here into this game, just pretty much patrolling the map. I guess he's searching for the newly established bases here from the opponent, as there are still 3 turrets here, and slowly but steadily the SCVs do get rebuilt here by the Terran. But yeah, what a great move by DEWALT indeed, as he's now in control of the middle of the map. Some vultures are out on the map. Hold on, we do actually have a drop happening here, but the counter is happening immediately here by DEWALT with High Templar Storms, with shuttles. So both players very nicely abusing. Now finally the Terran also taking some good pickups with only 2 vultures, having a good position, sniping some of those probes here. So in order. 8 probes have been snapped, so very good move here by the Terran, finally showing us actually how good the dropship can be with the vultures. So both players teasing each other with some drops. There is another one happening here for him. No intentions yet for DEWALT, and yeah, those vultures are really fast. And once again, this should be quite massive. 65 workers it was, as DEWALT is now losing worker after worker. So all of a sudden the balance keeps changing back into this game. So I'm very likely try to snap those cannons on the ground. 61 workers versus 40 now for the Terran. Let's just see what's going to happen here. Zealots in the front, shuttles also in the front. Very soon we're going to be seeing massive amounts of splash damage with high temper storms, with mines. Zealots are also here in the front. The Terran is doing his best to defend. No energy there. Not that many Zealots being left alive here for DEWALT, as he's pulling back a little bit, not deciding to engage here. And all of a sudden the Terran is reacting now, moving here forward. The tanks are in range for those dragoons. DEWALT needs to pull back, if you ask me. Even the EMP shockwave could be used here. Defensive matrix is being used. I don't know exactly why DEWALT is engaging here. It's pretty hard. He does have the high ground, but yeah, those tanks in the back are just dealing so much splash damage, as now even high temper storms have been casted. So yeah, all of a sudden both players losing quite a large amount of their army. A balanced engagement, but in the end, yeah, those tanks with those upgrades, 3 weapons upgrade, so much splash damage here for the Terran as he's moving forward. And yeah, this could be now quite deadly if the Terran establishes the control of this position right here. He could of course engage the reinforcements from DEWALT. So all of a sudden DEWALT, after a great harassment, great economic damage towards the opponent, he's now in really big trouble, as he even has to evacuate those units. The tanks are in a great position. There is vision with this one siege, or with this one science vessel. Even EMP shockwave can be used. So yeah, all of a sudden DEWALT in some trouble. He has to react with some dropships, with some shuttles, with some zealots. What exactly is he doing? Not dropping anything here, so a little bit of a mistake, losing one shuttle there. So perhaps a little bit of a miss micro here by the Russian player, as the tanks are now moving forward. And now very soon the production buildings will be under threat. Even a nice defensive matrix once again getting used here by the opponent. A great storm here by DEWALT, but the Terran seems to be is not done yet. He's moving forward towards the production building, snapping the high templars. Very soon he's going to be sieging up. And yeah, DEWALT is about to lose his main towards those tanks. He still has the expansion right here, but the main expansion has been pretty much lost. The production buildings are under threat. There's the high templar, no energy for him. Second high templar finally with a great cast, as the tanks on the low ground also here ready to inflict so much splash damage here against DEWALT. So what a bad position all of a sudden here for DEWALT. The tanks with upgrades showing us once again how strong they are versus the Protoss. There we have the 2 upgrades here for the Protoss. Finally 2 Reavers show up. With that, DEWALT might be able to snap this. Just needs to be careful against the vultures on the ground. Even mines get laid down, so the Reavers do take some damage. I believe both of them, no, one is still being left alive. A good micro here by DEWALT, sniping as much as he can, but what a difficult position he is. Not having vision on the low ground, just pretty much relying onto his shuttles, as the tanks once again in a good position here, reaching the production buildings from the Protoss. So what can save DEWALT right now? Only a great shuttle gameplay with some good drops, with some zealots. Some high temper storms would also be great. He still has the economic advantage, if you ask me. He has more workers than his opponent, so the Terran pretty much throwing everything he has, not deciding to rebuild his workers. Great high temper storm now catching so many units. Zealots are moving here in the front. Splash damage should work against the tanks. And right now I believe DEWALT is very likely going to abandon this main right here, and he's pretty much going to rebuild his units into this location. That would be a wise decision by him, and perhaps he's going to very likely attack the expansion right here, as this one is not even mining, it's being controlled by an observer. And the Terran not really mining, only from one base. Remember, DEWALT has 3 bases being left here, so if you ask me, he's still very likely into this game. All he has to do is play patiently. He has control of the map. He sees that there are no other expansions mining here from the Terran, so he can very likely oh dear, he did lose some Reavers there, so he needs to be careful. He can abandon this expansion right here, as he's still into this game. The shuttles, interesting enough, moving here forward against the Goliaths. He decides actually to engage here. So perhaps the shuttle gameplay would have been better for him to engage into this expansion right here and to cripple the economy even more. So in the end the Terran would have been only left with this unit composition right here. Hold on, we actually do see some vultures once again moving here out. So a small group of vulture really dealing so much damage. So a back and forward game here. I still don't know who can win this. If you ask me, perhaps, even though things look bad for DEWALT here, he's still into the advantage. Given the fact that he has more bases, he's mining from 3 bases and the Terran now finally mining from 2. So there is an observer here. All what DEWALT must do actually, if you ask me, send some shuttle over there, and that's exactly what he's doing. So very smart move by him, perhaps overreacting a little bit with some high templars. And yeah, this should be cleared very soon. Very smart move. There's one turret getting placed. There we go. And some vultures are coming here forward, but immediately getting sniped here. SCVs fall here as well. So great move by DEWALT. With that, once again, the Terran only mining from 1 base. There are the reinforcements coming here forward, but storms. And now I understand why he has so many storms. So it wasn't an overreaction. He did, of course, expect a defense by the Terran. And yeah, he still has the double amount of workers than his opponent. So what a great game we have here. Terran takes now control of the main from the Protoss, still mining from 2 bases, taking some losses, sending out those vultures, trying of course to inflict as much damage as he can, but still 3 shuttles are alive. There's the one Goliath, zealots on the ground, trying of course to soak up the mines versus the opponent. So very good game we have here by both players. Still a back and forward game. The Terran all of a sudden now moving here forward, and once again another base is under siege for DEWALT. So what can DEWALT do? Can he ignore this and just move forward? I believe he has to fight here. He has to defend. There's 3 tanks, 4 actually, and yeah, in comes DEWALT with the shuttle in the front. The zealots have been dropped. Great storm here once again. It should look very good here for DEWALT as he's able to push this back. One tank very low. And luckily here for the Terran, he's still alive, as the Archon is also going to be sniped here. So let's see that all the siege tank has to be sieged up here very soon. What a great move here by the Terran. Also a little bit of a lucky move there. We have the High Templar, and once again double, even triple amount of High Templar storms in order to keep this base alive. Of course, DEWALT knows how important this base is, and this one is also very important here for the Terran. So yeah, both players still into this game. Another expansion is about to get sniped here by the Terran. And yeah, worker wise, 30 more workers here for DEWALT. The Archon does his great job versus all of those vultures. 3-2 upgrades now finally here also for DEWALT. So of course the Archon is going to be very strong versus all of those vultures. But yeah, in comes another wave of attack. At the same time we do have a drop happening here with some zealots in order to keep the Terran at bay. There we have the Dragoons in the front, but there are no zealots to back them up. So with that, once again, I believe this time the Terran might have done it. He has forced a pullback by DEWALT, as yeah, those tanks into the late game very strong on the ground, of course. And I believe DEWALT is going to very likely abandon this expansion right here. He's going to mine as much as he can. Great shot here, great micro as always by DEWALT, trying to inflict as much damage as he can. This other expansion also depleted here. So right now Terran only mining from 1 base versus the 2 bases for DEWALT. What a crazy game we have here indeed. The tanks not that much mobile, of course, like the fast moving shuttles into the air. There is 1, even 2 defending this expansion right here. Let's see what's going to happen. Is DEWALT going to commit here forward? He might get surrounded. Some SCVs might get sniped. The Terran is moving back to reinforce his defenses with defensive matrix. 1 shuttle dropping really low, luckily still being left alive. Quite a chaotic scene, so much splash damage with his 1 mines. So all of a sudden now DEWALT in a great position. He has the high ground. He's forcing the Terran back, to gaining control, more control of the middle of the map, sniping tank after tank. Very nice move by him. And I believe now all what he needs to do is just to snipe the expansion right here. It's going to be very hard. There's 3 tanks defending this. And yeah, who is going to win this game? What a crazy gaming indeed we have here in between the two pros. Middle of the map, I believe that's exactly what the Terran wants to take now. Control of the middle of the map of the expansion. As only 2 minutes are being left here into this game. It's still anyone's game. Perhaps the smaller advantage here is for DEWALT, as he's sniping unit after unit. He has the economic advantage, but the Terran can easily take control of the middle of the map, and if he does that with all of those tanks in the middle of the map, it's going to be very hard for DEWALT to snipe this expansion right here. This one also very hard to snipe. More and more turrets are getting produced, so yeah, it's a very balanced game still. Soon to be a 2-base Terran versus a 2-base Protoss. Let's see what's going to happen here. Some vultures are moving forward, shuttles in the back. If DEWALT moves here forward, he needs to be careful not to lose those dragoons on the ground. Scanning the area, moving back, of course, perhaps going to try to regroup. Is he going to commit here forward? There's so many siege tanks on the ground. Sadly here for DEWALT, he's losing more and more of those dragoons. Perhaps he needs to be patient in order to wait for his expansion to finish here and send more workers to mine from this important expansion. On the low ground, let's see what's he going to be doing. He's going to bypass, of course, all of those units here. So he knows that the Terran army is not that much mobile, so he's pretty much bypassing everything, moving here forward, taking some damage. The zealots on the low ground should be able to take out so many units. No high tempo storms here into swing up, just decides to go forward with the zealots, and a very smart move here by DEWALT. Of course, he knows that the Terran army is not that much mobile. He knows that there are no dropships available here for the Terran. So what exactly is going to be the response here for the Terran versus this? The Terran also pretty much ignoring this attack. Perhaps he's going to be going for the main production buildings here, but there are units for DEWALT. So now DEWALT is a little bit trapped behind. He has, however, those shuttles moving here forward. He's going to take some damage out of the mines. Needs to be careful. More and more splash damage is being taken here. So the Terran still not decided where exactly is he going to attack. He might get surrounded very soon. So this is quite a mistake here by the Terran. He of course needs to be clumped up together as much as he can. The zealots are now in the front. If there are some high tempers now available here for DEWALT, and of course he has to GG out. So in the end the position was perfect here for DEWALT. A nice surround here by him. The Terran not making up his mind where exactly he first wanted to defend, then he came back, but in the end the macro game and the economic advantage was pretty much clear here for DEWALT. It was still anyone's game into the end. If the tanks would have been better defended in the back, of course the tanks are the main damage dealers from the Terrans. So yeah, very nice and enjoyable, great game we have here. Let's just check the stats very quickly just in case you guys are interested. Nice macro game, sorry. Both players played really well. Great harassment by both players, great macro game. Let's not forget that the Terran sniped a main from DEWALT, so at one point he was ahead into the game, but in the end the economic advantage has shown here for DEWALT. And let's not forget that he had so many successful drops with high temperers. The splash damage from the high temperers proving to be, I believe, the winning move here for DEWALT versus the SCVs and versus the ground units. So yeah, very nice game. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be trying to cast as much as I can. This is Tommy signing out.